Hello, my name is Eduardo, and today we are here with another tutorial for App Inventor, okay? And this is a very simple game that we are going to make today, okay? And if you check here, this kind of Space Invaders thing. So we have here our ship, but our ship, if we touch to the right, we rotate to the right, and also we rotate to the left, and we see this enemy that it's just moving left to right and going down little by little. Well, now we have a collision over there. Okay, so basically this is the idea, okay? And we're going to make this, okay, with just very simple blocks, okay? I hope you like this tutorial, so let's start. Okay, well, the first thing that we are going to do, let's create here a new screen to make this exercise. So we create a new screen, and of course you have to get some sprites. If you check here, we have some sprites. So I just look for Space Invaders sprites, and I use this one. Okay, I just open this and edit this in GIMP. Okay, check my tutorials about image sprites. Okay, you can use the one for Mario Run app. Okay, that it's very useful. Okay, that it's, I guess, video number 3. Okay, or number 2. I will leave it in the description of the video. Well, so after you have your sprites, okay, so I will show you just very fast. Okay, so we have to import these sprites into App Inventor. So open, and I have here my sprites. If you check, these are very small. Okay, so I have here 112 times 80, and then I exported as PNGs as transparent. Okay, and that's it. Well, then I just import these files here. I name enemy1 and enemy12 ship. Okay, I didn't animate the enemy, but don't worry. Okay, so well, we have ship1 PNG. Okay, that is the main. So the first thing that we are going to do, it is we're going to add our canvas. Okay, so let's go here to drawing an animation, then we draw a canvas, we set it to fill parent, fill parent for both height and width. Then we change the color to black. That's it. Then we add 2 image sprites. One is for the enemy, and the other one is for the ship. So let's rename this to ship 1, and the other one to NA1. Then we are going to set the image for this. So for ship we just use ship PNG, and for enemy we set enemy. Okay, so I can set to enemy1 or enemy12. So let's use the other one. So we have our images, and we're ready to start like making some things. But before that, we're going to need 2 clocks. One clock to move the enemy, and the other clock to move our ship. So let's call this one ship clock, and this is going to be N clock. Now for ship clock, let's set it to 48, and we disable. And for enemy, we are going to, let's keep it just enabled just for this example, and we are going to set it to 96. Okay, for the interval. Now let's go to the blocks. Let's start. The first thing that we're going to make for it's create a procedure to resize and position everything. So we're going to call it resize all. Okay, so this is like initial the screen. So we're going to make it in a procedure just for the purpose of this video. Okay, the first thing is we are going to resize the sprite. So we are going to check the sprite with the ship, and we're going to use here a simple math procedure. So we're going to use it based on the canvas width. So we are going to set it like the 8% of the canvas width. So for that we're going to use here number 8%. So it is 8%. So in that case we are going to use 0.08. That is 8%. If we set it to 0.8, that will be 80%. Okay, so a huge image here, almost using all the width of the screen. So that's why we are going to set it to 0.08. That is the 8% and the canvas width. So that is very important. Now for the other one, okay, for the height of the ship, we're going to set it, the height, we're going to set it now based on the width of the ship that we have just calculated. Okay, so in order to do that, we're going to multiply this, or we're going to use just the width of the ship. So for example, if we go here, let's use this ship width and let's see how does thing look. So to do that, I'm going to drag here this procedure and I'm going to do it, and it looks quite good. Okay, so I like it. Okay, so it is almost like quite square. So now if you remember in the GIMP file, both of them are the same size. Okay, so I'm going to use the same values, okay, from the ship for the enemy. So to set the enemy values. So now for the enemy width, I will use the ship width, and for the enemy height, I will use also the enemy height. So now let's do again the procedure, and it looks quite okay. So a little bit like squarey. Okay, you can fix that if you modify in here. For example, we go here, we add math. So maybe here we need to be not so high, so maybe 0.9. So let's see what happens in that case. Yes, looks much better. Or 0.75. Then we just do it, and that's it. And maybe, you know what, I would like to have it bigger, this thing. So let's set it to 10%. So this is the 10%, and now let's do it, and that's it. We have the right proportion because we have these automatic values. Okay, so I guess that's okay. So now now we need to position the ship and the enemy. The first thing is the ship. So I want to have the ship not at the bottom of the screen, so I just want to have it over here. Okay, so at the 70% of the screen, okay, or the height of the screen. Remember, here is like 0, and when we go to down to this to the part of the screen, we have like, this is like the 100%, the bottom. Okay, so I want to have it like at the 75% or 70% of the height of the screen. So to do that, we're going to check here the property for ship, the placement, the X, the Y position, and we're going to use similar procedure that we used before. So we are going to set its position based on canvas height, because it's talking about the Y axis, and 70%, that would be 0.75%. So if we do again, now we need to position, and now it's at the 70%. If we set it to 100%, that will be at the bottom, that is 1. Yes. So now let's set it to 75. I prefer 75. Now the enemy, we need to position the enemy first in the y-axis, and then we just for the enemy we are going to set it here, so it is like almost like 0%. Okay, so let's set it to 10%, 0.1, that is the 10%. We do it, and that's much better. Okay, now for the X, so let's duplicate this and let's insert this and the x-axis. So for the x-axis of the ship, we're going to do something similar. We want to place the ship in the middle of the screen. To do that, okay, so in the middle of the canvas, so we're going to do it based on the width, okay, times the 50%. That will be the middle of the screen. But you need to check something. When we have sprites, the coordinate it is, or the origin is in here on the left, and the upper part of the left side of the sprite, so it is in here, so it is not like perfectly centered. So if we do it, if you check, it's a little bit going over there. So we need to add something here. We need to divide the width of the sprite divided by 2, and we need to subtract this value from this one. So basically the idea is that, okay, so we go here, we go in here, and as I told you, we use the ship width. We take it from here, and we're going to divide this value by 2. If we divide this by 2, that means that we are in the center of the sprite. So now let's see if this looks better. Oh, sorry. Yes, we have it over there, but it's not. Yes, it's the width, the ship y. Oh, sorry, I modified the y, and it has to be the x. Well, don't pay attention to this mistake. So this is the x, and then this one that it was the x. This is the y. Now let's change to the y. Sorry, my mistake. 0.75, and this is 0.5. So watch out when you copy and paste blocks, because you can have this kind of mistakes. Okay, so well, check here. I am just making some mistakes because I was paying attention to the ads that we're going to have over there. But well, as I told you before, we have ship sprite. Let's close this. Sorry, ship sprite x. We're going to set it to canvas width, and let's say here, and this is for y height. Let's do this, and let's hope this is better now. Yes, it's in the center, and it's at the 75% of the screen. Well, obviously we need to insert this in the screen when the screen initializes, but well, for now it's okay just running the procedure from here. Now I want to move the ship now. If you remember the example, let's go to the example in the screen 1. We have the ship, okay, and oh well, let me run here this. That's it. We have this part. Check, it is rotating, but it's rotating when I press on the right side of the screen. It's rotating to the right. When I press on the left, and it is rotating to the left. So to do that, we need to divide the screen in 2. That's the idea. We need to detect if we are pressing the left side or the right side of the screen. So we're going to create a variable for that, and we're going to call it touch side coordinate, and we're going to set it to 0, and that's it. Now we need to touch the canvas. In this case, we are going to touch down the canvas. When we touch down the canvas, we want to create these things, or to move this, or rotate our ship. But the first thing that we need to do is to detect, or to get the coordinate. So that's why we have this x and y position that are very useful. So we are going to use, in this case, just the x. So we are going to set it. If we touch the canvas, so we are going to get the coordinate. So that is going to help us to detect if we are on the left side of the ship or on the right side of the ship. Okay, so well, or the canvas, I mean. Now when we press touchdown, we are going to enable the ship clock. So we go here and we are going to set it. Every time we touch this, we are going to enable the clock, the ship clock. And when we touch down, so we go here to canvas, we drag touch up, sorry, we are going to disable the clock, okay, when we are not pressing. So we just duplicate this frame and we just use false, okay, so when I press, it is enabled and it is disabled. And we're going to set the coordinate, okay, we're going to get the touch position on the x-axis. Now the next thing that we need to do, okay, it is to move our ship. Well, to do that, we're going to start little by little, okay. So let's go to ship clock. This is the one that we are going to enable when we touch, okay. And the first thing that we're going to do is modify the ship heading, okay, that is the rotation. So we can do it like this, very simple. So we're going to modify this value, and we are going to use here the heading position. It will be like modify, and we're going to increase this value by 10. So now if we touch, we are going to rotate this the ship to check, but it has no limits and anything, it's just spinning and spinning and spinning. If we set it to -10, so now we go to the opposite, okay. So we need to add some conditions for that. So well, we need to check if we are pressing this side or this side to rotate to the left or to the right, okay. So well, now let's start setting to 10 and check. Okay, so I need to detect this. So the first condition that we're going to add, so we're going to go here to if, and we're going to add an if condition, and we're going to set this condition to check, hey, you know what, the position that you have in here, if this position, so check what is the position right now of my ship. If we check which position do we have now, it is 50, and if we go more, it goes like increasing the number. Now it's 100. So that is the idea. So if our position or touch, first let's detect, it is like less, it is less than the half of the screen. So half of the screen or the canvas, it is like use the 50% of the screen, okay. So let's say use the width, and to get the percentage, remember we are going to multiply this, okay, times, so the position 0.5, it is the 50%. So what it says in here, if the touch it is less than the 50% of the screen, that means that is in here, so do that. So let's see, yes, it's doing. But if I press on this side, check, nothing happens, because now it is bigger than the 50% of the screen. So now we can set like another condition, else if, and we do the opposite thing. So now if the touch that we got, or the coordinate, okay, it is bigger than 50%, we can duplicate this and we go for -10. So now let's press on this side, and yes, we have it over there. We press on this side and we rotate this, okay, beautiful, right? But we don't want the ship to rotate a lot, so we want to set a limit for the rotation. What about if I want my ship just to get until here? So now let's get, which value is this one? So let's do it again. It is like 50, so I maybe 50 or 60. I guess it would be okay to have a limit over here. So from from 60 to -60, so from here to -60, that will be something like this. I guess that would be okay. So let's add an extra condition to this condition. So we're going to use here in logic, we go for AND. So the first condition is this, that it's less than the half of the screen, okay. And second condition, it is that the ship heading it is less or equal to the ship heading it is less or equal to 60 that we say. So this is the first limit. Now we are going to do the same for the other one, but now for minus 60. So we're going to use AND, so that means that it has to complete the two conditions, and we're going to duplicate this one, and we're going to use in this case it has to be bigger than minus 60. Okay, bigger or equal to minus 60. Now let's see what happens. We go here, we cannot go more even if I press, and here I cannot go more. Okay, well, we're almost done with this. Okay, so we finished with this part of the ship right now for this tutorial, of course. So now we need to move our cool enemy. Okay, so our alien ship. Well, to start to do that, we're going to use the other clock. Okay, and we are going to set a new variable. So the idea is that this guy moves here, go to the edge, and then change direction to this part, and then going down little by little. Okay, so let's do the first thing. Let's move it to the right and let's move it to the left. Okay, so now to do that, as I told you, we need to the clock is enabled. Okay, because we enable in the designer. So you have it, it is enabled. So now we need to set something to move this little frame. So let's create a variable and let's call it speed enemy, and let's set this to 5. Okay, 5 or 6, that would be perfect. So now we have the enemy clock, and basically the idea with the enemy clock it's that we are going to move our enemy, okay, so from the current position in X. So, oh sorry, enemy position, enemy X position. So we are going to increase this value by 5. Okay, so enemy position plus this, and check. So we have it over there. So now what happens? We get to the limit, to the bound, or to the edge, and stop because we cannot move or go more. So we need to add some condition. Okay, so very simple condition. To do that, App Inventor, okay, make us life easier. Okay, things easier. Okay, so in this case we are going to check enemy, and we're going to check collide now at edge reach. If you check here the description in edge reach, it says, you know, you have some edges. You have from 1 to -4, okay, and starting to the north. So this is edge number 1, edge number 2 here on the corner, edge number 3, edge number 4, okay, edge, let me go if you hold for south. South is -1, okay, so you start with -1. So you have 4, -1, -2, -3, -4, okay, and then you start again with 1. Okay, so basically that is the idea. So we are interested just in the edge 3 and -3. So to do that, to check, we are going to use condition with if. Okay, so we are going to detect. So we need to check if our edge that we take from here, it is equals to 3, okay, so that we go to the right. So if we are in the right of the screen, our sprite is getting this edge. So we're going to change the speed now to minus 5, okay, so check. If we are on this part, we're gonna change the speed, okay, so to -5. Now the second thing that we need to check, else if. So we are going to check here and we're going to duplicate this. If we are on the opposite side, that is -3. Okay, so that is this opposite corner, and that means that is on the left. We're going to set again the speed to 5, to positive value to increase it. Okay, so now this is just for the first part, and now let's refresh the screen a little bit. So let's write here a number just to refresh everything, and we're going to make, oh sorry, this is huge because we have to do it, and that's it. We have it over there. Let's wait for this guy, and it's moving, it's going to this and then going over there, clone, clone, clone. But now to make it more interesting, we need to make, you know what, every time you touch an edge, I want you to going down a little bit. Okay, so just to give the illusion that the enemy is getting closer to our ship. Okay, so well, to do that we are gonna add an enemy position. So let's go here, enemy. So we're going to set after this a condition, because we are not interested if it's in 3 or -3. Okay, so I want my ship to going down. Okay, so if you just want it when you touch the right, well, you just insert it in here, but we want it on both. Well, I'm gonna show you both options. So we are going to increase the current Y position. So the current Y position, it is in here, and we want to increase this value based on the percentage, in a percentage. Okay, so based on the height of the screen. So we go to height, and the screen, it says 0.03, that is the 3%. So by going down 3%, 3%, 3%, 3%. Okay, so let's see what happens if we just set it in here. Check, it's going down little by little. If we get bigger this number, well, it will go by faster. Okay, so but now what if I want just to have this kind of going down movement just when we touch the other one? Well, we just set it in here. So we go here, but when we get to the left, we are not going to go down, just when we touch the right side. Okay, well, of course this is just your option that you have. Okay, so basically that is the idea. Or maybe you want to have something when you touch left, you want to go up. Okay, so just to return this guy. So in this case, let's say, I'm not sure if we set it to here, but let's see what happens when we touch the left side. Yes, we go up, and the other one we go down, so we just stay here. Okay, so maybe that is an option if you want to have something different. Okay, or maybe this is a bigger value, so in that case it's going to be like 5%, and then it's just returning 3%, and then going back 5%, and that's it. Okay, well, that is just some ideas, okay, for you to use this. Now let's remove this guy, and I want to set it here. No matter if you are touching left or right, it's going down. And finally, we just need to add a collision enemy. If enemy collides with other, let's say other, it is equals to ship. So let's say ship, we are going to use this, the green one. So if other sprite, it's equals to ship, so we go here to the bottom. Then we're going to run this resize just to place everything, or we can just set let me go here just with this value, duplicate. We are going to set the enemy to the 10% again. So if we have collision, it will reset its position. That's it. And of course it is not a game yet because we need to add maybe something to attack our enemy, and when we kill our enemy it has to disappear, and maybe we need some sounds and many more things. Okay, so but I guess for this video it has some very interesting stuff. Okay, so we just check, okay, how to rotate the enemy, our ship, how to establish a limit, okay, how to rotate based on the position of the click. Okay, so we are holding here, we are holding on the left, we are holding on the left or right. Okay, so it is detecting this thing. We can change the speed of the rotation just changing the number over there, and also we check how to move an enemy, and when we get an edge, just going to the opposite edge, and also going down little by little to give this illusion that it's getting closer to your ship. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this simple tutorial, very simple tutorial, and I hope you try to make something about with this tutorial to start making your own Space Invader game. Okay, I know that it's not making the same steps as the original game, because in the game you was moving left to right, but I guess it was interesting to have just this kind of ship rotating. Okay, so rotating and just trying to kill these aliens. So let's hope, well, I guess if you are more interested in working with this kind of tutorial, please write in the comments or let me know that you are interested in this tutorial. Okay, so my name is Eduardo. Please share this video with someone who's learning App Inventor just like me. Okay, and also we need to animate the ship, you know what, so I guess we can make that for the next video. Well, my name is Eduardo. Thanks for watching this video. I will see you next time, so goodbye.